Okay, guys, I'm here to review Ugly Dolls 3. They came out with the 3 on Netflix. They've got live action Ugly Dolls 3. So, yay! I loved this movie. We start out in a world where
I wanted to be pretty. I thought it would change everything. I hope that's still true.
For those of you turning 16 today, you've waited your entire lives. All the flaws you have today will be gone tomorrow. With one elegant procedure, you'll be beautiful. Because everyone is accepted, no one is left behind.
Will you promise me something? No matter how pretty they make you, just don't let them erase you.
Promise.
You get the surgery, they tell you what to do, and that's it. Paris?
What are you doing here?
I was worried.
Things are just different here. You'll get it when you're pretty.
There's something about this place. It's not what it seems. What if I told you that there's an alternative? I know this place.
Welcome to the smoke.
They have a different way of doing things.
And we will do whatever it takes to protect that.
If you want to learn how to fly, you got to learn how to fall.
So as you can see, you could probably guess the whole plot from just the trailer, but I'm going to do a quick recap. In the beginning of the movie, so our main character is called Tall, and she has a best friend that does not want to really get the pretty surgery like everybody else is getting, but it is a mandatory thing to get on everyone's birthday, so he gets the surgery anyway. So I'm really bad with names, so I might call the main character Tall Ugly, and I might call Paris Pretty Boy. So once he gets the pretty surgery, he completely ignores Tall. I didn't really feel like reading the book, but thankfully there's this really cool YouTuber, and she did a wonderful breakdown. I really like her videos. Can everybody that's subscribe to her too, because she's really good. Great. He doesn't contact his best friend in like months, so she goes out to find him. So in the book, it sounds like the pretty city was actually explored, but they could have explored it in the movie and they just didn't. But at the same time, I'm thinking for the budget of this movie, maybe it's like a low budget. Maybe they're saving a little bit of the money for the sequel. So she goes there and the guy does not recognize her at all. And then you could see that she gets caught, and they do some sort of, it's this yellow beam, and I'm not sure where it's coming from. It's either coming from the actual pretty guy's eyes or it's coming from some other device. But if it's coming from his eyes, is he made into like a half android at this part from getting this pretty surgery? Being ugly, she gets kicked out. There's this huge high-budget action-packed scene where she tries to escape by jumping off of a building, and then she almost gets caught, but she finds a best friend to save her on a hoverboard. Special effects is that they kind of look like a video game effects at some point. Best friend, ugly girl, they flee. Best friend talks about the smoke and how there's this like place where they can grow old and I guess rough it, which just thinking about this concept, like you could have best of both worlds where you kind of maybe not grow old, but at the same time, I don't know, eat stuff with less GMOs. I'm a little bit on the pretty side rather than the ugly side. I mean, sorry, accidental lookism. That's also a good show on Netflix, Lookism, and not on the smoke side, you know. Ugly gets called to the principal's office, and the principal is like, you can't get the surgery to make you pretty until you find your best friend because she might be in danger. And I'm like, does this even make sense? Okay, one, you're sending me. Why? Two, like, if you think she's a danger, why are you sending me? Three, okay. Let's say I do know the girl. I don't know the girl. But if I did know the girl, why in the world would you think she told me? Then I would think, because her friend that's pretty guy shows up and is like, give more information. And I just think it's blatant how he's like, hey, if you're pretty, you can be with us. Like, it's okay to break your promises with your best friend if you're pretty. It would take me some time, admittedly, because I don't get hints very fast, but I would have to take some time and be like, why did he come to me at this time? Like, you haven't, and she even says it in the movie, you haven't been speaking to me for months and now you want something and you come to me? Okay, odd, strange. But she wants the pretty surgery. She genuinely wants it. But I would just deny until I actually get it because like her best friend told her before, they want you to be pretty. They're not holding back. She decides to take the mission. She goes to the smoke to retrieve her friend. Her friend's like, this place is great, just give it a chance. She gives it a chance. She loves it. She falls in love with the leader of the smoke, which is David. It's not that it's weird. It's kind of weird. So I get why she's into him. Actually, I don't get that. I mean, other than the pretty aspect, like he's pretty, great. I mean, he's not the pretty guy, but he's like an attractive person, some would say. So I get it, but why is he into her? They tried to make this scene, so there's one scene where she shoots arrows and he teaches her how to shoot arrows and he gets real close and I'm like, ugh. But bad vibes. Anyway, but then she's determined to keep both of them out there until she shoots arrows proficiently. And he's like, wow, you never give up. I mean, that is a redeeming quality, kind of, but, and I guess she's not ugly, but, I don't know, like, this person came from nowhere, doing nothing, and you into that. I mean, she's got a determination, I guess that's a good quality. I guess there could be a romance there. But she didn't even want to be there. Not really. And they start discovering that too. So, meanwhile, at Pretty headquarters, Pretty guy goes to the principal is like, I got a connection to her. I think it's love. And the principal's like, okay, we're gonna use that. That's good. We're gonna use that. And they make Pretty guy into soldier. So, robot pretty guy, he hunts best friend down like, I don't know, something that hunts things down. Once Ugly visited David's parents and really liked them, she decided to throw her GPS device that was supposed to betray all of them in the fire, which led Principal right to them. Principal's there, and the principal is like, hey, I see that Dave's parents are here. Snap the father's neck. And that was real, traumatizing. That was sad, traumatizing, and very unendearing. Cause like the ugly girl is like, you said you weren't gonna hurt anybody. Well, why would you think that? I mean, why was you... Also, when did she say that? I don't think she said that ever. Not on screen. Why would she even think that that would be something she said? Because she didn't say it. She didn't say, I'm not gonna hurt anybody. She said that these are dangerous cultists that have been luring people in. Why would you? I don't know. Anyway, so then they go into the pretty headquarters. They tell everyone to make a ruckus. Everybody fight against the powers. Did you want free health care? That is now denied. I would like some dental work. No, let's fight against dental work. I'm not saying don't fight against them. It's a shame that they're lobotomizing people. But yeah, it's a shame that they're lobotomizing people. I'm just saying, like, dental? No cause? Really? They try to free everybody. Because when they did the roundup where they killed the father, they also like rounded up everybody to do surgery on them. And they were all in the same little pen of containment, which was a bad move. Bad villain move. I also have a question on, like, and they explain this in the book. Again, referring back to this video, they explain that some people that are elite do not get the lobotomy surgery because that's what the pretty surgery is. A lobotomy mixed with a little cosmetics. A little mix of this and that. So they get, they don't have the elite be lobotomized because they need to think and stuff. But I would say the only people that are coming up with new inventions is that the elite's children, and they have to become scientists too in order to keep this whole lie going? Or do people try to go into the field of being the elite, and that's how they get new recruits to, like, I'm just thinking, like, if there's any technical problems, if their IT team is also pretty, that's gonna be very frustrating for users. They're very pretty. Anyway, so they make a ruckus, they do a distraction, some people get out, go back to the smoke, get a helicopter, do whatever they do with helicopters. Some people, like Ugly, David, and David's mom, go to find best friend because she was the first one to get turned into pretty when they got captured by the principal. And she's now pretty, and she's an airhead, and she wants to remain pretty. They try to get her out of there, and the doctor's like, I'm not willing to do tests on an unwilling subject. I'm kind of on the doctor's side, like, they need to give the okay. There's also this one moment where the principal is like, carry this GPS with you. It'll send us there if you need any help once you convinced everybody that you're part of their little group, the Smoke. And that's all the principal saying that, and she's like, it's so funny because she holds the necklace up to her face and it scans her and it actually hurts. And you see no reaction from the principal because though she doesn't have the pretty surgery, you could tell that she still has all of her faculties. She still has dampening to human emotions that she's like, one, she's insane enough to say the line, everybody wants to be controlled. I've made the utopia. I don't like. You see the evidence right there. Not everybody. Not even everybody. But anyway, that's, I guess, how villains are. They don't even see the logic right there. The only thing about it is, I felt like it felt too contained. That's the only thing I am thinking about when I watch the movie. And so they're captured and everything. Everybody's about to get the pretty surgery. They, the helicopter that I mentioned, I didn't know what they did with it. Now I know what they do with it. They try to free their friends by burning the building down. That's a good idea. That was good at the time. Okay? Okay. Anyway, they break out. They want to go back to the smoke, but the pretty girl doesn't want to go back to the smoke, and they can't test it on her because she's not willing to be tested. So they say, Ugly, get the pretty surgery, and then we'll test the cure that we make on you. Actually, no one tells her to do that. She offers because she thinks that this will make up for betraying them and making the principal come to the smoke and kill David's father, which I think, honestly, that's not tick for tack. Like, a few years, I don't think there is an equivalent, but that's definitely not it. Then at the end of the movie, you see that she got the pre-surgery, but she didn't get her scar removed. I didn't even mention that. Okay. So she had a scar, which I think Blue's insane. Like, really, I'm thinking, I kind of don't want to be friends with you anymore. So the scenario is, he was looking at her face by this little editing software that, like, edits her face to be whatever she likes, and she was staring at it and being obsessive. So her best friend, pretty guy, when he was younger, took her, let's say iPad. It's not an iPad, it's more futuristic, but takes her iPad and smashes it on the ground. It's made of all glass, so he gets a real bad cut in his hand. And she's like, oh my goodness, I realized you got this cut because of me. And that was obsessing. And she decided to make a promise with him that to each other will be enough, will be considered pretty, even though they are in the ugly faction of society right now. And she picks up the glass and he says, no, 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 no. And she cuts the same type of injury into her hand that he had. Now, if he's saying no, if he's saying don't, I'm looking back and forth because is anyone like into that? Anybody? No? No? Okay. So that would be something I'd just like stop being friends with you for, because it's hard to be friends with crazy. It's hard to, be at that level where you would cut your own hand and you're not even saying ouch. You're not just like you don't even hiss because of it. You're just like, this is what I gotta do for my homies. And I'm like, you don't even have to. You didn't have to go that far. That's not what anyone asked of you, and that's definitely not what we would want if you are a friend, to have any sort of external pain just because it's funny, or just because of a promise, or just to remember whatever. That's not the move. And if you're talking about blood packs, like sometimes friends make blood packs. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but we don't. In this household, we don't do that, and I don't think we're ever gonna do that, because one, unsanitary. Two, gross. Three, I think they shook hands. I think after she got the same injury, they shook hands and they were like, promise. Promise what? Promise what? Promise what? What does that do? You said you're gonna be enough. That's a promise enough. Like, what does exchanging... Anyway, I'll get over it. The good things about it. The action. Fantastic. They did not hold back at all when it came to special effects. I thought they would hold back a little bit, because it's a part of a book series. You kind of want to get started on series 2 if you already got one up. But they did not hold back at all. They definitely expected people to like this. And personally, I did like it, so I hope they make another one. I love the casting, except I hate the casting. I didn't even talk about this. None of the people, and I think that's kind of the point, but none of the people in the show were actually ugly. They didn't even put They didn't put anything on them to make the like any acne or anything. So I see why that's the point of the movie, that they're not actually ugly people. They're regular people that the society has labeled them ugly. So the people themselves did not need to be ugly because that's in a made up concept that the society is putting on them, trying to get surgery only to appease the society norms that is, one, unrealistic, and two, lobotomizing people. But did the best friend need to be a model? Pretty guy is a straight up model. You didn't even try. Like, maybe not. When Ugly Girl mentioned that his nose was big, I feel like he was kind of hurt. Which is fine. Which is okay. Other than kind of sad. Well, even if they added like ugly features and then commented on them, I would feel bad. Over empathizing with people just calling you out for traits that you don't really feel like that is a downside. Or maybe like you do feel insecure about it and it's like it's hit a little bit different when you say it so blatantly. You didn't even try to like mosey around and said it. That's great. Love clear communication. The casting was great. That's what I meant to say. The casting was fantastic. The actors were acting. I'm not sure if Best Friend is going to show up for part 2. Oh, I forgot to mention, he died. He fell off a cliff. He got cybernetic enhancements. I don't know if I mentioned that. He got cybernetic enhancements and then he fell off a cliff. Boo-hoo. We're all sad for him. It's not like he murdered someone. Ooh, he murdered someone on coercion. Okay. But did he like it? That's the question. Asking the important questions. Is he a villain? Another compliment, the set designs were amazing. Every location that they went to, I felt like I was actually there instead of in Canada. I mean, you know, the Canada version of New York, or the New York version of New York, or the America. So, yeah, the sets were amazing. When they did a sweeping shot of the climate change that the pretty people did, that was beautifully done. I kind of wanted to see, like, you see these flowers that are giving energy but also siping off, livable parts of the earth. I kind of want to go into the like parts that weren't livable. Like how unlivable? Like I just want to see like, is it like skin eroding unlivable, or is it just like desert? No natural food. That's kind of unlivable. Those are my 3 compliments. My 3 detriments. I feel like there's not going to be a part 2. Which is not a detriment because that is something that is not seen yet. I don't think there's a detriment to not making another movie. That's not a criticism. The criticism would be, I don't think the story has good pacing. I feel like we only hit beats of stuff and we didn't go through it like a linear path. I think it was a little choppy at parts. There was this one part that I was like, I think was so weird, and like the camera could have lingered, or the editing could have lingered on it when she said this part where I want to be seen. She says to her best friend. Her best friend comes out, I see you. That could have been lingered on. That could have been emotionally impactful, but they didn't give the actors or the situation long enough to actually make that impactful. They just were like, okay, she said that, let's keep going. So the pacing was a little bit off. The concept is a little bare bones. I feel like the concept wasn't really fully realized, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like this whole auditorium full of people and she gets to slip under the radar. Why? Like, they didn't have charts and aware of when people had birthdays and that they're staying here a little too long. That was also a part of the movie, and I was thinking, if I scratch a little bit further, there's gonna be nothing underneath the plot of it. So that was also a constant variation in my mind as I was watching the movie, because I was thinking, like, with such a black and white concept, the gray is gonna be harsh. So, yeah, I like the movie. Those are my criticisms. Those are my thoughts. Please check out this person. Please check out this person. Please check out these people. And guess what? I messed up my snow globe. I messed it up. Okay, so I had the names written down. I had all my subscribers written down. I even was going to make a video about it. And I still will. I'll release that one. But I made the snow globe with, like, coconut oil and water. And I thought I could dye the oil using soap. But it didn't dye correctly. And you couldn't even see through the water part because I also dyed it in red because of YouTube. You know, YouTube's red. So I thought maybe... So I'm starting over. It's just going to take a little bit longer. I'll release me writing down the names, and if you don't want your name a part of that video, please let me know. I will edit it out. Okay? Okay. And if you want to watch some of my abridged series, I also have that. So right now, you can obviously say I'm trying to get my footing somewhere. Oh, I also have a review of Carol versus the End of the World, a review of another show, and a commentary on the Cat's Eye outfits coming up. I'm also coming up with the 100 subscriber snow globe that I have to redo. You know, you won't see that video unless you're subscribed. And I would, and I have my OC breakdowns. So with my OC breakdowns, I would just make sure when you watch the video that you're subscribed, because sometimes the videos don't show up unless you're subscribed. So thank you for watching, and bye-bye. So that last sentence I said was misinformation. I tricked you.
It's your ugly side that you're showing. Keep your mouth shut and keep going. You're not someone worth knowing. Please go, I hope you're joking. This is not a joke. Run it to the ground, send your whole life up in smoke. Freeze frame, speed it up, it's a little slow. Fast forward to the middle door. Close call, don't fall. Break a hole through the wall till you're yelling out loud like you're 50 feet tall.
So my brain blanks out for a second and I can't get this word, but comment the word down below if you know what I'm trying to say. That's the only consensus. That's the only thing I am thinking about when I...
Real dudes don't steal 'cause they could. Only desperate people should. What's your name?